Hello people, this is Mr. Lodge. We're just going to talk through graph drawing skills, and I'm going to focus on drawing a line graph here with the data that we collected in the lab that we did when we changed the mass of magnesium and we measured the mass of magnesium oxide that we produced from that reaction. So we came up with a set of data that looked a little bit like this, so just bear with me. This might be a bit messy, but here's my data set, which I'm just going to go, this is the repeat 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, for example, and then this is the mass of magnesium in grams. And this is the mass of magnesium oxide, also in grams. So we measured to 2 decimal places. Let's say, I'll give a few examples here. So we got a 0.11 gave us 0.19. 0.71 gave us 1.12. 0.50 gave us 0.70. Okay, so you can see what we're doing. We're going to just create all those data sets. And now we're going to work out, okay, how am I going to represent this on a graph, right? And we have to work out, okay, which set of data do I put on which axis? Because I know I'm going to come up with something that looks a little bit like this. But actually, where do I put these data points? How do I decide which is going to go where? Now, when we decided our investigation, which was designed it, we came up with the independent and dependent. Now, always the independent goes on the x-axis, the dependent goes on the y-axis. So that's our part of our success criteria is, which I'm going to just draw down here. Success criteria number 1. Independent variable goes on the x-axis. Dependent variable, which is what we measure, goes on the y-axis. Okay, so that as we go, we can say, if this is what I changed on the x-axis, as I changed it, what happens to the measured variable? Did it go up? Did it go down? What happens? And I can see then on my graph what's going to happen. All right. So that's our first success criteria. And now just stop the video, pause it, and just decide to yourself what other information would be very useful for me to have on my graph. So we'll just pause now and discuss with your partner. Okay, so what you should have come up with between you is a title. We should have label and units on each axis. Okay, that would be, different for different graphs. In this case, okay, the independent variable is the one we changed, so this is mass of magnesium in grams, and over here is the dependent, so this is mass of MgO in grams, right? Okay, so there we go, we got our success criteria. 2 and 3 is title, which actually must contain the independent and dependent variable, and then we have labels and units. Okay. So in your pairs, just come up with a title for this, please. The title could be containing the independent and dependent variable, a graph to show how mass of magnesium oxide produced changes with the mass magnesium reacted. Okay, and it could be a variance of that, but it should have the independent, which is mass of magnesium, and the dependent, which is the mass of magnesium oxide produced. Okay, so we'll add that onto your success criteria. Oh, we've done it there. Okay, cool. Right, back to our graph then. We're going to decide next then how do we do the scales on each of these axes. So we'll take the magnesium and we'll look at, okay, the minimum value and the maximum value. So the minimum is 0.11, the maximum value is 0.71. Okay, so you're going to have lots more data, but I've only got these 3 points here, 3 values here. So I'm going to go 0, because this is my independent. I'm going to go on this axis to 7, so I need 7.1, so I need up to 8. So I need 0.8. I need 8 values. I'm going to split each 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Okay, so 0.71 would fit here. So I've got that on the scale. Okay, and I'll do the same for here. Minimum value is 0.19, and the maximum is 1.12, so I need up to 1.2 really. So that's going to be on this scale. I might have to change the intervals. Rather than 0.1, I go to 0.2 just to fit it on the graph space that I've got here. You will have a whole page to do this, and so it'll be easier. Okay, so we have to have on your graph, that's in the success criteria then, isn't it? Number 4, even scale, regular intervals on each x and y axis, right? When I mean even, I mean a linear scale, so it goes up in regular intervals on each axis, right? Okay. Now, what I haven't done also is plot the graph in using, so it's number 5, pencil and ruler. So number 6, we have to plot our points accurately. And number 7, we're going to try and draw a line of best fit. Okay, so turn to your partner and just discuss how am I going to plot this point on my graph. Just talk to each other now, please. Alright, so having talked to each other, you may have come up with something like this. So this point here, this value refers to what's going on the independent variable. So 0.11 would actually be, if I go use the phrase along the stairs, I'll do it in this a different colour. Here we go. I'll do blue. So if I go along the stairs on my independent, that's what I'm going to do first, and I get to 0.11. It's actually found all the way here. That's where it goes, all the way up there. Now, given that mass of magnesium, what mass of magnesium oxide was produced? And that is what this value tells us, 0.19. So I have to go all the way up here. So 0.19 is going to be, so this here tells us 0.2. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little squares. So 0.2 divided by 5 equals 0.04. Okay, so each one of these, 0.04, 0.08, 0.12, 0.16, 0.2. So 0.19 would be way up here in this quarter. Wasn't very good, but it actually crosses this line. So wherever it crosses that line, that is our first point. That is repeat number 1. Okay? So, pause, discuss where the next point should be, see if you're right. Okay, so next point we'll go 0.71. We'll go all the way along the stairs. 0.71. Halfway between 0.7 and 0.2. And then 1.12 will be 1.12 is exactly on that line, so we go up the stairs, and where those two cross is 0.2. 0.3, discuss, stop, tell me where you think it's going to be. Okay, we go along the stairs, 0.5. Don't have to draw these lines on, but it's actually quite useful. You can rub them off afterwards. And that's 0.3. So we can see, actually, as we increase the mass of magnesium oxide increases, and we can see that on the graph. If I was going to draw a line of best fit here, it would go, let's do a different colour. Yeah, and I'm not hitting all the points exactly. Yeah, some of the points might be some side, but so we call it a line of best fit. And when you have all of your points plotted, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there should be an equal number of points either side of this line. So it's not a dot to dot, so this would be wrong. If I went like that, that would be the wrong way to plot it. I try and do a line of best fit through most of the points, splitting the points either side. Okay, I hope that helps. Just try and use this video to do your graph particularly.